Yo, what's up guys? Prince Charming. Today we're gonna be checking out the TheOdd1sOut My Poetry Teacher video. I still do remember my poetry teacher. She was so passionate about poetry, trying to get us to read poetry, trying to get us to love poetry. Me personally, I'm not really a poetry guy. I know poetry is in a lot of things, especially music, but what am I gonna do and read poems all day long for? I got much better things to do. If you like poetry and poems, that's perfectly fine. If you like yourself a little bit of haikus here and there, that's perfectly fine. I'm just saying that's not really my cup of tea. I much rather spend my time, you know, writing rap bars or something like that. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Hit that thumbs up button right now for your boy. Subscribe and turn your post notifications on. We hit 100K. We're gonna get 1 million pretty soon. Hope you guys gonna get me there. Go ahead and comment a poem. It can be short, it can be long. Just go ahead and comment a poem. Roses are red, violets are blue. It's Prince Charming, bitch. And I fuck with you. I don't know where I was going with that, but that was my poem for y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Check out the poetry teacher from the TheOdd1sOut. Let's check out this video, guys. Don't forget to like the video. Let's enjoy.
I'll take school facts for 800, Alex. This is the most useless class that a person could take in school.
Poetry. Poetry for
man.
1,000.
What is poetry? I'm sorry, Jeff, but the correct answer is all of them. They're all useless. In my first video, I didn't have enough time to say this, but I hate it when people are cool with their teachers. I understand that some teachers are more laid back than others, and sometimes they'll ask the class, so how was everyone's weekend? Then if you want to talk about something or have important news, then you can share it. My dog died. Yeah, they do that. But there's a line and you shouldn't cross it. Don't talk to your teacher just to talk to them during class.
Oh, off top, yes.
Problem this is in other places of the world, but sometimes there would be kids in my class that would say, "Hey Susan, how was your daughter's dance recital? Did you remember all of her moves?"
That's
I
weird.
saw a video you posted on Facebook. It looked like she was having a fun time. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Maybe I wouldn't have been a good teacher. Before I tell you about my poetry teacher, I need to tell you about the preparatory school I went to so you can better understand where I'm coming from. So I went to a preparatory school in 9th grade, and first off, what is a preparatory school?
What is a prep school?
Google says it's a private school that prepares students for college. Now, hearing that definition, you might think, wait, don't all schools prepare students for college? Isn't that a school's job? And you might think that a preparatory school is more fancy and made out of marble and all the kids come from rich families. No. What it means is that the schools get little government funding and parents have to pay for desks and the teacher's salary. I know
Oh, wow.
private schools will vary depending on how rich the parents are. I'm sure that school made out of marble exists somewhere, but the preparatory school I went to was relatively worse than a normal public school.
Thankfully, I never went to a prep school because those are the schools you have to wear a uniform to. You gotta actually pay for it. Never understood that. Like public school, yes, it's kind of bad. The education can be a little bit better. You know, there's a lot of people going there, but it's an experience. You go for the entire experience because if I didn't go to public school and I went to private school, I don't know the kind of person I'll be today. Maybe I wouldn't have the social skills I have now, or I wouldn't be as outgoing, or I wouldn't have learned the lessons I learned already. All I know is that I think public school did me a justice. I think it really helped me out with molding me into the person I am today.
The school I went to didn't even have desks. They had fold-up tables and the chairs were fold-up too.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Now I
gosh,
know
never
where
mind.
the budget went. The main difference between a public school and a prep school is that a prep school is smaller and there's a uniform and there's lockers. So why did my twin sister and I attend a preparatory school? Because twins have superpowers and we need to go to a special school to enhance our abilities. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That'd be cool though. We went because when we were starting our freshman year, our older brother was a senior and he was already attending this preparatory school, and my mom didn't want to have to drive to 2 high schools to pick us up. We already had a carpool in place. You can't just mess with the carpool. Me and my sister didn't know what to expect from a public high school. We've never been. We thought we'd get bullied or something. Boy, I feel like picking on someone today.
It's not like that at all.
We go to a prep school. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Well, the carpool we had made it so we would arrive at the school super early before everyone else, and we'd be picked up from the school super late. And also, because it was a prep school, they gave out a stupid amount of homework. I remember breaking up the homework into pieces, like, okay, I can do the geometry while I'm waiting for school to start, the biology homework I can do during geometry class, and I have choir after lunch, so I can just do this during lunch. Look at me being responsible. I have a
Come on, you can't do like that.
Freshman year in a public high school, and she thinks it was so hard. Oh, you thought your 9th grade was hard?
Let her know.
The amount of homework and wear the same pants every day.
Let her know.
So now the only question remaining is, why did my older brother go to a prep school in the first place? Bro, why did you go to a prep school in the first place? IDK just decided to. Just felt like I should. My mom reads my scripts, and she told me that he went to a prep school because one of his friends said that there were cute girls at the school.
Oh!
So he decided to stay there for 4 years. Okay, now let's talk about my Poe.
What an L.
I'll call him Mr. Poe.
I mean, would y'all change schools because the females are looking better at the different school? Because the university I go to now, the females are looking good. I'm telling you, the females are looking good. So realistically, like, if I would have went to the old college I was considering where the females aren't looking as good, versus now, I probably wouldn't have such a good time.
Because that's short for Poe.
Edgar Poe Allen.
Poetry wasn't even an elective
Edgar
class.
Allan Poe?
Every
What?
freshman was required to take it. And surprisingly, poetry was only the second most useless class you took at the school. The sophomores took a class on Latin. You know, that dead language that no one speaks. So Mr. Poe, I don't want to judge him too hard. I don't know how he was like outside of school, but just picking up the vibes I got from him as a 14-year-old, I think he was depressed. I mean, to be fair, anyone who likes poetry probably has something wrong in their head. But Mr. Poe just seemed sad all the time. Every single day
poor
he would start
Poe.
class by saying, "It's the best day ever." Which, if you think about it, saying that every day only means that the days are going to get better and better, which is sort of poetic. But I think Mr. Poe was lying to himself. Also, Mr. Poe really liked anacondas. I mean, snakes. He really liked snakes. Sometimes we'd go off on tangents talking about snakes. Royal pythons, also called American ball python, got their name because they turn into a ball when they get nervous. Also, did you know that snakes have two... Never mind. Sometimes in class,
He's
we'd
a
be
creep.
analyzing poetry,
What?
And Mr. Poe told us that every single word in a poem was important. The poet didn't have to use the word "the," but they did. What did they mean? Sometimes we would spend days analyzing a single
did they mean?
poem, taking notes and talking about what we thought the poet meant. One time, a poem we were reading had someone talking, so there were quotation marks at the start of the sentence, but there weren't quotation marks at the end. The poet forgot to put end quotes. I remember noticing it and thinking, aha! A clue! Mr. Poe, I just made a breaking discovery. There's no end quotes here.
You be thinking you're
The whole
smart?
rest of this poem is told by this character. And Mr. Poe said, oh no, that's just a typo.
You be thinking you're smart whenever you find like an error and then the teacher just immediately dismisses you. But no, I do remember being in class having to read poetry, having to analyze it, thinking what the author truly meant, why he used that choice of words, why he put it there. Yo, there's so much in-depth in analyzing going, oh, I just don't want to think about it. It just brings me back to AP English and all the rhetorical devices I had to learn.
Well, frickin', why am I perfectly nitpicking this piece when the poet purposely put poor punctuation in his poems? Pterodactyl!
That's a tongue twister.
Do you guys know what lateral thinking puzzles are? Lateral thinking puzzles are sort of like riddles, but more stupid. You're given a strange situation with little information, and you have to ask the person who told you the puzzle yes or no questions to get the answer. My favorite lateral thinking puzzle is this because it's so stupid. A man goes into a restaurant, orders albatross, eats one bite, and then jumps off a bridge. Why? Now, normally, if you were playing legitly, you would ask me yes or no questions like, was the man in a relationship? And I would answer them saying, well, not anymore. The explanation is this, it out because it's super long and complicated, but you can read it if you...
A man, his wife, and some other third person named Hunter were shipwrecked on a deserted island. This man's wife later died from starvation, then Hunter fed the man some albatross, which kept him alive. The two were later rescued, and the man decided that he wanted to eat albatross again. When he took a bite of the bird in the restaurant, he tasted something completely different than what he ate on the island. He then realized that what Hunter told him was albatross was not actually bird meat, but instead his dead wife. So the man killed himself out of guilt. The end. That means the man loved the taste of his dead wife so much that he wanted to eat her again. No albatrosses were harmed in the lateral thinking puzzle, except for one albatross already dead in the restaurant. I'm not making this up. This is the legit answer. It'll vary depending on what website you look at. I found one that said the man had eaten his fellow shipmates, not his wife, but the answer is always that the man was trained to be a cannibal. I mean, she was already dead, dude. Those extra calories could have saved your life. Now she died for nothing.
Well, Mr. Poe
Wow,
also
that's
liked to tell
depressing.
these lateral thinking puzzles, but his solutions were more dumber. One of the puzzles he told the class was, you're trapped in a restaurant, how do you get out? Now, I can think of like 5 solutions.
Smash the window! What?
Through the door, through a window, use a crowbar if it's locked. There's probably a sharp knife to cut through a wall, or you can dig a hole under everything with a spoon. But it was actually none of those answers. So, how do you get out of a restaurant you're trapped in? You get an education. Okay, let me explain.
Oh my
You're trapped in a
gosh.
restaurant because you're a waiter. That's your job. And to get out of the restaurant, you need to get a good education so you can get a better job. Kind of like how I was able to quit my job in the food industry by getting
I hate
an
the food
education.
industry so
It's
much.
funny because he dropped out of college. So the class got the answer to that riddle, but Mr. Poe told us another riddle and we never figured that one out. And that riddle is, anyone can dig a ditch, but it takes a real man to blank. Given that the answer to the first riddle was education, the answer to this could be anything. I really wanted to know the answer to this riddle, so I googled it hoping that Mr. Poe just stole it from the internet, and I found this song, anyone can dig a hole close enough to a ditch, but it takes a real man to call it home. Which sounds poetic enough. Let's see if the song gives us any more clues.
His poetry teacher was listening to Screamo.
This sort of stuff. So I wish I could give you the answer, but I don't have one. Feel free to guess what you think the answer is and give your reasoning in the comments. That'll be fun to read. But I will say the answer that I did come up with that I think makes the most sense. Anyone can dig a ditch, but it takes a real man to hide the body.
Well, that was the end of that poetry riddle. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That was the odd one out, my poetry teacher. I'm guessing his poetry teacher was a little bit weird or a little bit depressed because the type of music you're listening to, come on, dude, you're a poetry teacher. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video if you want to reply from yours truly, Prince Charming. My name is Prince Ohakam. Stay charming, my friends.